Hey, aloha folks, and welcome back to the Klipper Golf Course. I'm here with Joey Castillo again, PING representative for the state of Hawaii. And we're here to talk about the brand new product, PING G440. You see it all over the TV, internet, in the tour players' bags. I've hit the product, I love it, but we have the expert here. So Joey, G430. G430 was a phenomenal line, and I know how good it is because, you know, proof is in the pudding. You see those clubs pop up in the best players in the world's golf bags, right? Particularly the ones that are not PING staffers, right? Because you can't miss it because of the color scheme.
True.
And the turbulators on the top of the crown.
Yes.
So, I mean, I spied it in many bags. And yeah, so that's huge, but now we're moving into a brand new line, G440. What's changed? What improvements were made?
Okay. Well, you know, just to be clear, our product cycle most of the times is 2 years.
2 years, okay.
So the G430 product, 2-year cycle, sort of ended in January, this year, January.
Okay, okay.
But, you know, you still can get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a newer, lower price on the equipment.
Yep.
And we're going to support it all of 2025, but maybe not all the SKUs. We're not going to have we're going to have the 9-degree max driver available, the 10.5 max degree driver. The 3 and 5 wood will support that.
Yeah.
We also still have 7 woods at the moment.
Got it. That's a great product right there. Okay, so let's pause on that real quick and really talk a little bit about the previous season, right? You know, you and I have done this for years. I've been selling a lot of those clubs to the younger Marines, you know, the E5 and below. They don't have as much money, right? They're just introduced. We have a lot of programs at the Klipper that introduce young Marines and sailors to the game of golf. They take to it, they rent clubs, but at some point they want their own.
Absolutely.
And we have put them in to the previous line of premium clubs for a fraction of the price. This is a great deal, and I think a lot of the general public does not know about this. Many golf manufacturing companies, and we're not dogging anyone because they're all good. You know, every company is good. I tell everyone now, they say, what's the best? I say, you know what the best is? You go figure out what it is that you're looking for in a golf club. Go online and figure out which company is featuring that technology and buy that one, because they're all good. But one thing that we got at PING that is incredible is that we have the previous premium line as kind of like the mid-range set. So a lot of the other companies have a mid-range set. You know what I mean? More cost-effective, affordable. Well, that's great. It'll suit their pocketbook. It'll fit their pocketbook, but they compromise on quality. Whereas with PING, you're getting quality product. It's not like a mid-tier product. It is premium product for a fraction of the price.
Well, and the other key issue too, which I like to remind people, is that previous model G430, which is available, you can order it and customize it. You know, there's very few Marines that I've helped here at Kaneohe Klipper that would need a standard set off the rack. No. You know, we need them more upright or flatter, bigger grips, certain types of shafts. You know, many of them being that they're so strong, you know, they need, you know, stiff shafts and extra stiff and bigger grips. You know, but it's nice to know that you can still get a customized iron set or golf set at a much lower price than the current model right now.
That is huge.
So that's the option.
That is huge, but that is huge, and we needed to talk about that, but we're here to talk about the G440s, right? So okay, so the G430 was a great product. When we moved into G440, what were the technological advancements?
some of the key ones
is
the ball is leaving the club face faster.
Wow. And how are we achieving that?
They're making the face of the golf club thinner.
Is it variable thickness on the face, or?
Yes.
Okay.
The drivers, the irons, variable wall, all the woods, all the irons, variable wall thickness. So they have to make it thick, you know, to keep longevity of the golf club. It doesn't crack.
Right.
And they make places thinner so it can flex and trampoline the golf club. They may have given up a little bit of forgiveness on the driver by making that face smaller and thinner. But at least you have a choice. Get the most forgiving driver, the G430 10K, or try the new faster ball speed driver, the G440.
Well, if it's less forgiving, it's marginal because I don't notice it. You know, from G430 to G440, it performs just as well, but I do notice the faster ball speeds, and then I do notice that it sounds better.
They changed the sound of the golf club.
Yeah.
You know, a handful of years back, the company invested on building their own sound machines. And obviously they have a sound machine in a factory somewhere. I mean, not a sound machine, but a sound room. But they built sound machines to pick up what the club is making.
Wow.
And they know they can design the golf club and change the sound of it. The trick of it, though, is, you know, some golfers like a particular sound.
Yes.
Some golfers like another sound. There's no bad sound per se. We like to pick the sound that sells more clubs.
Right.
Salesperson. But it is more muted.
Yes, I like it. It makes the shot come off feeling sweeter, because we both know that sound it translates into feel.
Right.
And for me, it just feels sweet. You know, the new product feels sweet when you hit it. Okay, so we got faster ball speeds. We've got a better sounding golf club.
Right.
Anything else?
They transferred some weight, you know, around the club. Got rid of some weight in the hosel, about 10 grams, and put it where it's needed, which is usually low and behind. To make it more forgiving.
Launch higher, less spin, right?
Launch higher, less spin.
Right.
New proprietary shafts. They're a little lighter weight.
Right.
New tip design in the shaft to make it stronger.
Okay.
The shape of the golf club has changed just a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. I like the looks of
it has a I don't know how to put it into any other terms, but say it has a rounder look to it, you know?
Does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to use the term pear shape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And almost like someone took a little bit of a sandpaper and buffed off the edges, you know, softer edges. It's nicer looking.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is exactly true or not, but it looks like the crown is a little bit more bubbled. Just a little bit. You see the same thing?
Yes.
The fairy woods are taller. That's another big change we did.
I kind of like that.
I like that too. I think I definitely have a little bit more confidence hitting that 3-wood off the tee, being that the face is a little bit. Because when it's a little too shallow, you feel like you might get under it, right? I know. And the sound of the fairy wood did change as well. Just like the driver.
Yes. Yeah. And I noticed that you know, in selling the product to the customers, or at least in you know, showing it to them, you know, you leave us with the pamphlets, right? You always do that. So good about that. So someone was asking me the other day about the clubs, and I picked up the pamphlet and I started to take them through the lineup, because you know what's going on now is, because we have so many hybrids and fairway metal options and crossovers, you know, people are going, okay, well, I don't need all of my mid irons, and I definitely don't need long irons in my set. You know, that's for like the pros and whatnot. So there's a lot of discussion that always goes into how to transition into crossover, and from crossover to hybrid, and from hybrid to fairway metal. So I pick up the pamphlet and I kind of show them, right, the overlap and where you're going to transition. And it's always, which club are you going to be able to carry with a good trajectory and stop the ball in close proximity to where the ball lands, right? So we have that discussion. I open up the pamphlet and looking through there, but I notice that in the hybrids, the 6 and 7 hybrid, I think, and maybe 5, 6, and 7 hybrid, they're a little more straight flight technology in those. And then when you get into the, I think it's the 4, 3, and the 2, it's more traditional. And is that the Ping design that because it's gonna, those clubs will work better with the G440 irons, the transition into that?
I think it's more thinking about which golfers are going to need those high lofted hybrids.
Got it.
Those golfers are usually have a lower club head speed.
Got it.
Right? So with the lower club head speed usually means that the lower body is moving so much faster than their upper body.
Oh, I see.
So having that straight flight technology is going to help that particular golfer who swings the club a little bit slower than the average, right, to square up the club face better.
Got it.
That, that's the way I look at it.
Got it. Right. Okay. No, I saw that. I said, they're doing that for a reason.
Right.
And I was wondering, well, what is the reason?
Right. Ping, I believe, really looks and designs their golf club for the average golfer. Maybe not necessarily the tour player first. Yeah. And especially the G line. But it just so happens, the great tour players like what we build for the average golfer too.
Yes.
But in their eyes, they're trying to build something that, it's going to be good for everybody. We don't make a separate different golf clubs for the tour players and separate to the consumer. Yeah. We're just making a lot of clubs, like we have a lot of options. Several different iron sets you can pick. Right. Not to mention the ladies line and junior clubs right in here. Right. And when I try to help people pick the clubs they need, I go two routes. You want to put your strengths in the bag. So if you're known to hit great fairway woods, get as many fairway woods as you possibly can. Makes sense. In the bag, right? Sure, that makes sense. If you're a better long iron player, like I've always had the 2-iron really well, don't take that strength out of your bag just because we have 2 hybrids. Yeah. Keep that 2-iron. Yeah, get the crossover in there, right? Yeah. But we guide, the soldiers here, and the consumers here, a path. Think about if you really love this game. We're only allowed 14 clubs in the bag when we play a competition. Right. You know that. Right. It doesn't mean you can't own 16 or 17. No, I agree. I think a complete set, for me, in my opinion, a complete set is 16 clubs, because there's always a gap at the bottom and the top of your set. And especially with the stronger loft options now, right? It is such that if you do proper gapping with your wedges, well, you don't have the ultra lofted club at the bottom. And if you want to do that, and Ping is good about this, they make the 62-degree wedge. So you could actually go from that 58-degree lob wedge to a 62-degree ultra lob wedge, right? And then at the top of your set, there's always a missing gap. So I really think that a complete set of clubs is 16. Yeah. What do you think? I like 16. Yeah. So as a salesperson, my job is to sell more clubs. So I'm going to say 17, 18. Yeah. And then don't feel bad to get 20 if you need to. and the other route to look at it too is when you have some new golfers. Yeah. Right? Don't feel pressure that you have to buy all 14 now. Yeah. Maybe you don't know what your favorites are. Maybe your favorites are hybrids. Yep. But your initial purchase, make sure you have at least a driver, one fairway wood, one hybrid, irons, putter, wedges. Yep. And then you play for a while, and it might be only 10 clubs in your bag. Yep. And then you order the 11th and the 12th, and you start filling it in. Yep. You know what? You know what I tell people? I tell people, your game will tell you what you need. Yeah. I tell them that. I said, what should I get? I said, just get the bare essentials for now. And they're looking at me like, don't I need this? I said, no. Like what you say, I just give them what I feel is what they need to get started with. Right. And I said, you're gonna know when you need something, because you're gonna hit your longest iron, and you're gonna transition into a hybrid or a fairway metal, and you're gonna say, but when I transition and I take that one, it goes too far. I need another one right there, and I get that shot comes up a lot. You need that club. That's right? Down at the bottom of the set, right? I get that shot once in a while where the hole is kind of close to me, and I got to fly over the rough and land it and stop it there. And with my 54, I can't quite do it. Okay, it's time for the 58, right? So the game tells you what you need. Right. So yeah, no, I get that. And there's other golfers too that I hear this commonly, going, well, I don't want a fairway wood. I can never hit a fairway wood, so I'm not going to buy a fairway wood. Well, that's part of the reason why you can't hit a fairway wood, because you don't own the fairway wood.
You never experienced it.
Yeah, so if you want to get better in that category, and own one of those.
Get one. Yeah.
And then maybe talk it out about getting the easiest fairway wood that you can get, you know, depending on the type of golf course you're playing. Yeah,
I think you're right. And I think, you know, a lot of people, they think, okay, driver 3 wood, but it doesn't always have to be that way. In fact, I think for most people, it should be driver 5 wood, you know?
Yeah. Well, this year, the G440 line, we made a 4 wood.
Yes, I saw that. That's incredible. And that's the perfect, actually the perfect first fairway metal.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
For the strong player, for the average golfer, perfect first fairway.
You can use it off the tee. It's a little easier to hit off the ground because it's got a little more loft.
And you're looking at loft, which is give you a lot of confidence just by seeing that much loft.
Yes.
And I'll go plenty for it.
And okay, so we talked about the woods and the hybrids and whatnot, but the irons, right? The G440 irons. I noticed, you know what's really cool about those irons is that that's Ping's one of Ping's most forgiving irons. I know there's more, but that is a game improvement iron. It's a forgiving iron. But what's really cool about it is, you know, most of the time when you look at a game improvement iron, you know you're looking at a game improvement iron, and it doesn't always look the best. It looks a little clumsy. I think Ping really cleaned up that G440 iron. It's really nice to look at, and yet it hasn't lost any of the game improvement features.
Right.
Now, my question is, has this iron started to pop up in any of the LPGA players' bags or anything like that?
I haven't paid attention to it, but I know there's a large percentage on the LPGA playing the G iron. Always has been.
Is that right?
And the other club is the I200 and I230s. You know, there's a lot of that model in the LPGA.
I always geek out and I go on your website, right, and I look in those bags, but I haven't seen. You know, what I see is a lot of I230s.
I230s.
That's the most popular club
on the LPGA tour.
Yeah.
And then at 1 year, maybe 2 years, the Champions Tour. That was on an iron count.
Yeah.
At least 1 year. So
that's cool. Incredible.
But talking about that G440 iron, I think that's a special looking iron. When I first saw it last July in our sales meeting, I noted it to myself. This is the prettiest G iron to date that I have seen. Personally, that's what I think. Nice. It almost looks smaller, right? It does. In some places, it is smaller. It looks, to me, it looks boxier. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not quite, because for my eye, when it gets too long, it looks clumsy. It looks like a hockey stick. Right. But it looks like they made it more compact and a little taller. And I like that tall look. And the thing is, that club is as forgiving as the predecessor, the G430, which is amazing. Right. Because you made it look smaller with a little less offset. And there's a progressive offset. And when I was looking at it back in July, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Right. I'm an I230 player. Right. I might consider the G440. For sure. Because it's much more forgiving and it looks pretty. And you know what the thing is, when it looks pretty, it inspires you to hit good shots, right? Yes. But when it's forgiving, it instills confidence. Yes. So that club, it packs a lot. It packs a lot. Yeah. The face is also 9% thinner. So 9% thinner. 9% okay. Wow. Thinner, you know. Oh, so it's hotter. It's hotter. But when you hit it, you know, it doesn't feel like a trampolining, but you're getting more ball speed out of it than the previous model. Which is really my goodness. Neat. And there's a large elastomer badge back in there that I think disguises maybe some of that trampoline and everything. But it sounds good, it feels good, it looks prettier. Yeah. The sails are still brand new. Yeah. You know. Yeah. I don't know how we are, but it won't surprise me that we're gonna beat our expectations on that iron. Nice. And this is only a few months, and it has really a 3-year lifespan. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, that's a winner for sure. And so I think now we've kind of covered the G440 product line. And you know, before we sign off here though, I want to talk about something. I'm kind of wanting to prime the pump and let some of the viewers know about this. But all the craze right now is the lab putter. Oh. That lab putter is stands for lie angle balance.
And this putter is popping up all over the place. YouTube, the tour, everywhere, even at the golf course here. And what is this putter is known to have no bias. It's lie angle balance, so the putter literally wants to return back to where it started from. And I know that Ping has a couple of models that are coming down the pipeline. Well, because I watch golf on TV and I saw one of the Ping staff players with it.
Oh.
They play them ahead of time. And so I saw that and I said, oh my God. And I'm watching on the internet, right? Because the way I watch golf, the way I consume golf is I go on YouTube. No commercials, only golf. And so I'm watching that and I see, I wish I remembered his name, but with the putter. And I said, oh my God. So I scroll it back and I pause it. And the dead giveaway is the shaft. The shaft is going into the head here instead of up here. It's not on the face. It's behind the face. So you got massive face progression. That's a key characteristic to these neutral or lie angle balance type putters. And so I see that it's so I did a deeper dive online and I see that they're coming out with that. Ping is coming out with that putter in the alley B head, I believe, and it's also the oh shoot, the half mallet head. I'm having a brain fart.
I couldn't tell you because we have that information hasn't been passed down to the representatives.
Right.
If it is coming, I'm sure we're going to hear about it.
And I know I'm going to be the first to know, right?
You're going to be.
Anyways, folks, I know it's coming because I saw it. I went on the, I don't know what they call it, Golf Works or Golf Spy or something. Anyways, there's this website that has all this stuff and all the geeks talk. And I saw it. There's two models. And Oslo and Alley B. So look for it. It's Ping's version of the lab putter. And if I know Ping, it's going to be a winner. But the G440 product, hitting it out of the park. Folks, Joey Castillo, PGA member, Ping golf representative for the state of Hawaii. One of my best buddies. We're out. Aloha. We'll see you at the Klipper.